What is going on, a rock star? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Monday morning. And in this episode of Get Your Mind Right with Codes, we are going to talk about overcoming obstacles. We are going to talk about overcoming obstacles. So, if this is the first time you're seeing me, my name is Coz. I coach Black women with an entrepreneurial mindset so you can build and grow yourself as well as your business without feeling alone or isolated. Let's get into it. I got my notes as always. So, this is to start you off with a wonderful day, getting your mind right so you can have a good day that will turn into a good tomorrow and then a good week after that. So let's jump into it. Let's talk about overcoming obstacles. So you have to understand that number one, there are um, three different types of obstacles. So number one is external, the things like um, the economy, the weather, things of that nature, things that you cannot control. Okay, that's external. Then you have internal, which is, your business, debt, things of that nature that you can control. And then the third one is just, how do you say, it's a persistent one that um let me go back. Let me do this right. So the internal is a persistent. It's internal, which is I want to start with the internal. So internal is things like that um, housing, things of that nature, things you can't control, your feelings, what's going on in your business, what's going on around you. Then you have external, which is, the weather, the economy, all of the stuff that is out of your control. Okay. And then you have persistent hurdles, which is basically things that get in your own way. So it's three different times: internal, external, and persistent obstacles or hurdles, I like to call them, that get in your way. So the first thing that you want to do is understand why this has become a hurdle or why this is a hurdle, and for you to break it down so you can overcome it. Okay. So the first thing we want to do is figure out why this has become a hurdle. So is it something that is external, internal, or something that is it something that is what you put in your own way? So that's what we have to figure out. So once we do that, then we can move forward into understanding how to overcome this particular hurdle or obstacle. So, number one, we want to focus on what it is. Focus on what it is. So, as women, as moms, business owners, wives, let's start that over. As children of the Most High, because I'm the child of the Most High, as women, as wives, as moms, as business owners, we should all know how to do this. We know because we do so many things that help us focus and break down why certain things are the way they are. And you really have to sit down and really ask yourself, why is this a hurdle for me? What is it about this that I cannot get over? And write it out. I'm a huge fan of writing things out because once it is written out, you can take a breath, step back, and look at it, and then focus and formulate a plan on how to overcome this particular hurdle. And we have to be committed to really focusing and figuring out why this is what it is. And once we figure it out, we write it out, figure it out, and overcome it. That's what we do. Okay, that's number one. Number two, we want to get into the management of time, because after it's out of you and after you figure out why this is a hurdle and you've taken a breath, you've fallen back, you've looked at it, and you've created a plan around it, now it's time to get to work to overcome it. And this is where time management comes in. This is where you focus on really putting in the work to overcome it. We're all busy. There is a difference between being busy and being productive. Busyness is business. You can be busy doing other things. You could be busy, playing on social media. You could be busy, watching TV. But productive is completely different. Productive is a commitment to focus a set of time to a particular task. That's where all your focus is. There's no multitasking. There's only time blocking, commitment, and focus. Commitment, time blocking, commitment, and focus to get over this particular obstacle or hurdle. And that's what we have to do. We have to be committed in all areas and be productive in all areas. I want to say something so bad, but it's not appropriate for me to say that right now, because when you are a mom, a wife, in business, whatever, because who you are in life is who you are in business. You want to make sure that you are every moment is purposeful. Every is purposeful. You just cannot wander or roam through life without a purpose, without a sense of being. We are not here for that. We have been created for a purpose. Do not go to your grave with your purpose still inside of you. The richest place on earth, and this is one of my favorite quotes by Les Brown, one of the richest places on earth is the graveyard. It's the graveyard. And we have to be mindful of our time. We have to be mindful of our purpose. We have to know who we are and why we do what we do. We have to. So that's number two. Then number three is becoming aware of why this particular hurdle is in your way, especially if it's been there for a while, especially if it's something that you haven't dealt with. You haven't, as one of my friends says, if you haven't unpacked it yet. And it's huge, because you must unpack it. You must understand why and where and when it came from. That is the only way that you are actually going to overcome this and understand why this is what it is and why it has been getting in your way, and own it. Stop putting it on the back burner. Some things are not meant to be put on the back burner. Some things are meant to be dealt with. They came in as an interruption for a reason, to be dealt with at that particular time. And I know sometimes it's fine to step back and get your bearings, and then go forth, and then try to work it out and figure it out. That's fine. But become aware of how many times you do that. Become aware if you're just putting it on the back burner and not dealing with it at a later time. And I'm not talking about years upon years later. I'm talking about maybe a day or two, or even an hour or two. Deal with it, own it, move on. We have so much busyness that we busyness is a waste of time. Busyness is not being productive or conducive to the things that you need or want to accomplish in your life. So you have to determine what is important to you, what hurdle you're going to get over, how you're going to get over it. Why is it like that? Where did it come from? Why is it a hurdle? How can I get over it? And the self-awareness in that is knowing who you are. So you know whether or not it's actually something that you're putting in your own way, or if it's something that is external. That's all it is. So let's go back through it. Number one, figure out why it has become a hurdle. Number two is time management. Number three, become self-aware. And then number four, deal with it so you can move on. Stop putting things on the back burner. Sometimes it's just best to fall back for a minute, gather yourself, and then go back and handle it so you can check it off the list. If you found this valuable, like, love, and share. And I will chat at you later, Rockstar. Ciao.